I think a lot of people can hesitate with, if they hear something that they really like and maybe is or would be inspiring to them, they can kind of cut themselves off from exploring it because they're like, well, it already exists. This song already has been made. What am I going to do that's going to put a twist on it or put a spin on it? And in my head, I think of it in multiple ways because, like, on my production side of thing, I love sampling stuff. Like, I love samples, and that's, in terms of like releasing that commercially, that can be a whole mess unless you're using, you know, proprietary services like Splice or something. But even if you don't necessarily sample something directly, using interpolations of other people's ideas and bringing it somewhere else. I had a student who I was teaching some songwriting stuff, and I was just introducing just a couple of modes. I just introduced Dorian and Mixo, which are kind of the first two that Berklee really likes to delve into. And so I was literally just having him write something in D Dorian, because it just uses all the white keys, same as C major, and so I just had him come up with a progression in D Dorian, and he came up with, it was D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, G, and he had the bit, he was playing a boom, ga pa da pa da, boom, 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 ga pa da, boom, 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 which is great. It's a one-to-one recreation of a song from like 2014 called Love Me Again by John Newman, a song that I just so happened to know. It's in a different key, but the rhythm of it and the cadence of it is identical. And I did tell him that, not to discourage it, but just to be like, okay, so you came up with a really cool idea in parallel thinking with what was a super successful hit record, but that doesn't mean we can't alter it. So I went through a few ways of, okay, you already did one, which is transpose it. You put it in a different key. This one was in, I think, G Dorian, now it's in D Dorian. Okay, totally different key, totally different, like, that's different. What else can we alter? Well, we can alter the tempo. We can alter the rhythmic feel of it. Instead of being boom, ga, 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 boom, ga, boom, ga, put in a little, we just threw in a little arpeggiated thing, right? To give it its own twist there. So, okay, we're in a different key. We have so progression is now the only thing that's overlapping. And then the last piece was just make sure the melody is distinct from it. And at that point, it's an entirely different record. You couldn't even really make an argument that it was even derivative of it. You can't copyright a chord progression, you know what I mean? And you also, like, songs are people's intellectual property. Like, ideas, in an abstract sense, aren't. Ideas are constantly being shared between people. And not allowing yourself to be exposed to other people's ideas or other people's music. Like, I write the best songs when I'm coming home from a long drive where I listened to an album that I'd never heard, right? When I expose myself to something new, a new sound, a new artist, a new direction, a new subgenre, whatever it may be. So to get inspired, you have to expose yourself to things that will inspire you, and you also have to trust yourself to be able to take that inspiration and still make it your own. Like, you can't be afraid of being derivative or being unoriginal, because you are your own person, right? And unless you're literally consciously writing a cover of a song, you're gonna do something different, even if you take bits and pieces that inspire you. So that's how I feel about that.